Hey, what's up, Craig? How you doing?
What's up, Mark? How you doing, brother?
Good, man. Welcome to Trust Me, bro.
Yeah,
How are you
welcome
today?
back, man. I'm good. I'm good. How you doing?
Y- Yeah, I'm doing great. So
Nice.
how did it pan out? Looks like you made the playoffs in 4 out of 4 leagues, right?
Yep,
100%
made it out of
participation.
four. Um, Continuing on in two leagues.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Lost last night by less than a point.
Urgh. Oh, I
Yep.
hate those, man. That's a
Yeah, man. Aaron
ugh.
Rodgers gave Christian Watson the signal. I'm gonna throw to you.
Yeah. I love that
Christian
signal,
Watson missed
man.
it. He missed
Yeah.
it. I just needed one catch, man. I just need 1 point, and I was done.
Yeah,
Then he
from
hands it
Watson.
off to hands it off to Aaron Jones next play. Gets a yard. The yard short of
Yeah,
a tutty.
kneeled on it.
I'd have done it too. So
Yep.
on we go, man. You talked about fantasy luck last time, and I think this
Yeah.
one is, you know, definitely up to the fantasy luck gods that didn't make it. Worst
Yeah.
case too. On top of it all, I think it was fourth down when Tom Brady threw a garbage touchdown at the end of
Yeah.
the game against the Bengals. And that
Yep.
gave him an extra 6 points right there. So
Right.
just it was stacked up for me to lose, man, and lost another one by 1 point.
Oh
So,
my God. Wow, both of them, huh?
yeah,
Man. Ugh. That's just, yeah,
yeah. How'd you
that's
do?
worse, man. Well, I was only in the playoffs in one league, and I escaped. I ended up moving on to the second round, so
Nice,
I survived. It was an
good.
ugly win. It wasn't exactly, a blow 'em out, but hey, a win's a win's a win. So I needed, I think,
That's
five
it.
points basically from Packers D. They got me 12, so good to
Yeah,
go.
there you go. There you go.
Yep.
Nice. Well, cool, man. Well, let's rip through these. I mean, we've got some guys
Okay.
out there that I think can help some lineups. There's some people that went down. So,
Yes, sir.
what
All
you want to
right.
start off with?
Let's go with running backs. Go ahead and
Okay.
hit me with your first one, and then I've got, let's see, three to talk about today.
Yeah, I mean, really, I think a debate. I think Zach Moss or Deion Jackson or Johnson. Yeah, Jackson. Excuse me. I think either one of those. Maybe we can kind of
Yeah.
talk through that. Do you think Zach Moss is the guy? Deion Johnson, Jackson, whatever the hell his name is. I'll get it
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Actually, both of those guys were my 1 and 2 on my
Okay.
picks.
Okay.
With Jonathan Taylor going out for the season, and
Yep.
so yeah, I mean, Deion Jackson is 7% owned. Zach Moss is 4% owned. So I don't really know at this point if you want to go by the percentage owned, but I know that we've seen some good things from Deion Jackson so far this season. Whenever Taylor was out, I actually picked him up and played him in one of my leagues. In fact, the league that I'm still alive in the playoffs, I picked him up and played him on that game. I think he had either 21 to 24 points, somewhere in that range. So we'll
Yeah.
go back to the well on this guy. That's my thought.
Yeah. Yeah. And it seems like Zach Moss got the share of the carries once Taylor
He
went
did.
down.
Yeah.
So, it might be an even split for those two guys. That's kind of what I'm
Yeah,
thinking.
yeah. That's one thing I took into consideration. I mean, I looked at Deion Jackson. He had 13 rushes for 55 yards, one catch on one target, but he made it pay and went for a touchdown on that one target. And so Zach Moss, he had 24 rushes for 81 yards and then one target and didn't catch it. And so, I'm looking at the game flow of that particular game. They were up 33 to nothing at the half,
Yep.
against the Vikings. And, at that point, they were looking to kind of salt the game away. And I think that's why Zach Moss saw, 24, opportunities. And
Hmm.
so, they're I forget who they're playing this coming week, but I don't think that the Colts are going to be up by 33 points at the half, in their next game this coming weekend.
Yeah.
Um, I think that they're playing a pretty weak
They got the
Russian
Chargers
defense.
on. Yeah.
Yeah,
Chargers coming up.
yeah. So the Chargers, they can score. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And so I think it's going to be a game script situation where the Chargers will be up by at least a touchdown for most of the game. The Chargers could break away to a 2 touchdown, 17 point, maybe 21 point lead. Who knows? And in that situation, Deion Jackson, I've seen him in the past catch a lot of passes. That game I got, 21 or 24 points from him. He had, I think, like 80 or 90 yards receiving that game and like 7 catches on 10 targets. And that was from Matt Ryan. And so,
Yeah.
I could see that being the situation where they're chasing points and they're looking to hurry up. And so I don't see Zach Moss as, a guy that they're just going to hand the ball to, to try to salt away that clock,
Yeah.
playing the Chargers. And the Chargers have a pretty weak run defense. And so I'm actually going to take take a flyer on one of these guys. My first choice is Deion Jackson. I've got a waiver wire pick scheduled for him already, and if I miss out on him, Zach Moss will be my second choice. I wouldn't feel as confident to play Zach Moss, as I would for Deion Jackson, but I think I would probably play them over Robinson for the Commanders because he's going up against San Fran. San Fran's run D is number one in the league. They're fantastic. I just don't feel comfortable playing Brian Robinson against San Fran. He did pretty decent for me the other night against the Giants, and he's stringing together some pretty good games. But I just can't, play him with my season on the line, my playoffs on the line.
Yeah.
And feel good about it. So.
Yeah, I'm with you. Cool. All right. So you had those two, and then who's your third running back?
Okay, third one is Marlon Mack, plays for the Broncos, only 6% owned. He had 8 rushes for 52 yards and 6 grabs on 7 targets for 88 yards with 2 touchdowns over the past 2 games combined. And so, he's broken double-digit fantasy points, these past 2 weeks. We did happen to see the Latavius Murray show with the Broncos this past game. I forget how many carries he had. I think it was north of 20. I think it was close to 24. So, whether or not the workload's going to be there for Marlon Mack, I just don't know. But he's 6% owned. So, we're talking about guys that are 7, 4, and 6% owned. So well below our 65% threshold. But I would say, Latavius Murray is definitely the better play. If he happens to be out there on your waiver wire, he's one to. I would put Latavius Murray in front of Marlon Mack if he just so happens to be out there. I think he was somewhere in the 70% owned. I forget, but yeah, it was a little over our threshold of 65.
Yeah, I agree, and he would have been my third one as well. It's somebody I brought up last week or a couple weeks ago, I think, and I like him. I mean, I think he's a decent pass catcher out of the backfield. I would expect anywhere from 8 to 15 points out of him.
Yeah, I could see that as a very real floor for him. 8 to 10 or 8 to 12. I could see that as pretty much book it. I think he'll definitely get you that.
Yeah.
That's what you're looking for as a safe floor and then potential upside from there.
Yeah. I just don't see him pulling a Deontay Johnson, or was it Deontay Johnson, right? That just completely let us down. Or Foreman. That guy.
Yeah, Foreman. Oh my God. Yeah. I ended up winning. Game. Yeah, I ended up winning my matchup despite his ass. 0.9 points in that league. Man, yeah, he's definitely going to be riding the pine, if not just outright dropping that fool. I look at the last 4 games, and it's just it's middling at best. So, and I looked at his schedule. The last 2 games of the season are pretty tough defenses. So, that guy actually, I think I might even drop him. Yeah, I see no use in him.
I'd rather go with Cam Akers or Marlon Mack. Give me anybody but him at this point.
Right. Yeah, absolutely, man.
Cool. What you got for wide receivers, man?
Okay, so my first wide receiver is a repeat, I believe, from last week. Donovan Peoples-Jones, DPJ, plays for the Browns. He's at 64%, so just under our threshold. He has scored. I went back and looked at his season-long stats. He's got 10 games with double-digit fantasy points and only 4 games under 10. So, that leads me to believe there's a strong possibility he'll get you double-digit fantasy points for DPJ.
Yeah, he's a nice receiver, man. He is. I think he's a pretty consistent one. Yeah, with the chance, I think he can bust out. I mean, he's got some speed too. Seems to get in the end zone. He's one I like, man. First one on my board, man, is KJ Osborne. Went off this week. 10 grabs, 157 yards, and a tutty. 34 points this week. He's definitely in the mix there. I feel like not Jefferson, but their other dude.
Thielen.
I think Thielen. Thank you.
Yeah.
I feel like he's kind of just fallen off, and
yeah.
I mean, he's still out there and he's still making grabs, and he's probably good for 3 or 4 catches. But I think KJ Osborne's been the clear number 2 there.
Yeah, I totally agree. I actually have him written down as well. And in another stat that caught my eye was 16 targets, and I know that they were in comeback mode. Trying to come back from a 33-point deficit at the half, and so that probably lent to the 16 targets. Do I think he's going to come out there and get 16 targets this coming weekend? No. But if he can get, even half that and score a tutty, I think a lot of fantasy owners will be happy.
Yep. Cool.
Okay. All right. And so we've talked about DPJ. We talked about KJ Osborne. I had him on my list as well. I'm going to talk about Jahan Dotson for the Commanders. Only 17% owned. I think I sent you a text during the game the other night, saying that he kind of looks like the next Diggs. He's early on in his career, but he's the type of guy that when they throw him the ball, he catches it. He's got great hands. He doesn't drop a lot of passes, and so that's what you want, man. Is a sure-handed wide receiver. He's got 9 grabs on 15 targets for 159 yards and 2 touchdowns over the past 2 games. So yeah, I mean, if he keeps up that type of production going into this game, I believe with the 49ers is who they're playing. So it's a tough matchup. I mean, it's tough to run on the 49ers, but I think you can throw on them. So I think they're going to be leaning on Dotson and, of course, Scary Terry. So I think that's the only way they're going to be able to move the ball.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, he started off the season really strong. He was looking good, and then he got hurt. He was out for good portion of the season. Took him a couple games to kind of get back in the flow, but I think he's there now, man. He's looking good.
Yeah, exactly. This is another guy that if you're in a keeper league or dynasty league, that this would be a valuable guy I see a bright future in front of him. So
yeah, yep. Cool. You got any other wide receivers?
Yeah, I got one more. Just because he really blew up this past game. Russell Gage plays for the Bucks, only 13% owned. I know Julio Jones has been out of the lineup for the past, or at least this past game, maybe even before then, but he's a ghost anyway, so I never even really notice when he's on the field. But Russell Gage really turned it on, and this may be a one-hit wonder, so I'm not saying to rush out and pick him up and stick him in your starting lineup. But if you're playing somebody that you have no confidence in whatsoever, then this guy's worth a flyer. I mean, definitely for daily. He's got so this past game he had 12 targets from Brady. He caught 8 of them for 59 yards and 2 tutties. And so he won't score 2 tutties every game, but 12 targets was impressive.
He's actually one of those that I probably wouldn't go pick up, and just because I've done it before. I've chased the Russell Gage good game before, and he just ghosts you the next game. So,
yeah, right.
12 targets is enticing, but man, I've seen it.
Yeah,
I was like, where the hell did that guy go?
I know, right? Well, I mean, Evans has been a huge disappointment, and so maybe this is a product of Brady having lost faith in Evans. I mean, Godwin is still solid, but if this is kind of how it's trending, if things are kind of trending away from Evans, then this may be the result here. So we'll see. We got one game.
Very well might be. Yeah, exactly. Because I've always thought Evans was a half-asser. He'll take plays off. He'll kind of just walk around and whatever. If the ball's not going to him, he just kind of half-asses a route. You watch him out there and you're like, man, this guy's just not into it.
Right.
But he's always put up through the years, and I think now it's just kind of the second half of this season really just not been much for him.
Yeah,
he sat on my bench this last week.
Yeah, he did too. He sat on my bench too, and I played Zay Jones instead of him, and that was a fantastic decision. Still lost that lineup. It was just for a consolation, bracket, so whatever.
Yeah.
But, I mean, Zay Jones blew up, and Hurts blew up, but the rest of the team was garbage,
Yeah, cool. So, all right, man. Well, that's your last wide receiver.
Yes, sir.
For tight end, I got a question for you.
Okay, what you got?
How is Juwan Johnson still only 15% owned?
Man, I don't know. I have him on my list too, and it was 21% for him over on the Yahoo side. But I like it, man. 4 grabs on 6 targets for 67 yards and 2 tutties this past game. So, what other, dumpster wide or tight ends are giving you that? So I think that's solid.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he's good. Like a couple times he's kind of let you down, but for the most part, I think he's pretty consistent and seems to get the ball. I think maybe it's kind of look at the matchup. He's got coming up and how do they play against tight ends. I mean, I don't know if Cleveland does a very good job against tight ends, but I definitely would start him against Cleveland.
Oh yeah, I totally agree. Yeah. I mean, he's been fantastic when he's on the field. I know he's missed a game or two recently, but even prior to his absence, he was doing great. And so he's obviously back. Scored 2 touchdowns this past weekend. I like him. That's a very, very good pickup for tight end if you're desperate, or if you have somebody you don't like.
Somebody. Yep.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's a good one. I'm going to bring up an oldie but goodie. Taysom Hill for the Saints. So that would be another Saints tight end. A 47% owned, has 101 passing yards, 10 rushes for 40 yards. He saw 3 targets as a wide receiver, or I guess tight end. Caught 2 of them for 35 yards. He tossed a TD and caught a TD, all within the last 2 games. So, yeah, there's a wide variety of usage out there. He's throwing the ball, he's running the ball, he's catching the ball, scoring a couple touchdowns, over these past few games. So he's, the Swiss Army knife. He's out there, working it. So I'd say, if you can't get Juwan Johnson, if someone else with higher waiver wire priority, beats you to Juwan Johnson, then go ahead and reach down deep into the dumpster and find Taysom Hill's hand and pull him out from all the rubble and hose him off and stick him on your fantasy squad.
Hose him off. Nice. Well, man, that's all I've got for tight ends. You got any others?
Yeah, I got one more. I think you might have brought him up last week. I'm going to take a stab at this name. Chigoziem
Okanokwo.
Yeah, for the Titans, 29% owned. Yeah, he has double-digit fantasy points for the past 3 games. So it looks like he's benefited a lot from, I think, Traylon Burks. What's the guy's name? Their rookie wide receiver.
Traylon Burks.
Who can't seem to recover from that concussion. So this guy is definitely.
That was a bad hit, man. And I feel like he's coming back this week, though.
Yeah, could be. Yeah. So if that's the case, then just don't get this guy unless you're really desperate at tight end. But double digits last 3 games. This may still continue. With Traylon Burks out there, who knows?
Yeah. That comfort level just might be there, but it does kind of scare me. Cool, man. Well, I don't have any other tight ends.
Me neither.
You gonna take a shot on Uncle Rico if Hurts can't start?
Gotta throw the ball over them mountains back there. Yeah, man. I don't know. Not against the Cowboys D. No, thank you. I think he's going to be visited by Mr. Parsons quite often. Mr. Parsons' neighbor is going to welcome him to the neighborhood and throw him violently to the ground. I don't even think he'll survive this game. I don't even think he'll finish it, to tell you the truth. So, no confidence in Uncle Rico for this game. But I do want to take a look at Daniel Jones.
Eating all the steaks and ruining everybody's lives, huh?
Yeah, exactly, right. So Daniel Jones,
all right.
Yeah, I think he's got the Vikings and then the Colts are the 2 games he's got left. And we just saw what Kirk Cousins did to the Colts in the second half. We've seen the Vikings has suspect defensive backs and safeties, so you can throw on the Vikings. Daniel Jones doesn't really have anybody to throw to. That's the problem. He's got a bunch of no-name wide receivers. So, this is really specifically for the people that lost, let's just say, Jalen Hurts, in this past game. Because I think Hurts is, like we just talked about with Rico, that Hurts is probably not going to play in this game. I mean, I think, what are they, like a 12-1, something like that? So,
yeah.
With that record, dude, I mean, why are you going to rush him back? I mean, I know it's a divisional game against the Cowboys, but I don't think the Cowboys can catch them. I mean, I don't know. The Cowboys have, 4 losses? So, and they only have one. I don't know. I mean, the Cowboys would have to win out.
Could tie them.
Yeah.
And then
technically could tie them.
I don't know what it would go to.
Yeah. And then it would be like a 1-1. They'd be tied on the
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the head-to-head, I guess you call it.
Yeah.
Then you have the divisional, the record within the division. So, yeah, I'm not really sure where each of them lie on that. But,
yeah. Who beat them? Was it the Giants?
No, it was the Commanders. They beat the
Commanders.
They beat the Eagles, yeah.
Okay.
Only
so technically, if we beat them and then we beat the Commanders at the end of the season, we'd have a better division record.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's there. I mean, but that would mean we win all 3 and they lose all 3.
Not very likely.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they're probably going to sit them and go with Uncle Rico.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yep. Well, that's about all I got.
Cool.
I only had
that's all I got
QB,
too.
so.
I don't think there's any other QBs out there on the waiver wire that are going to really light it up for you. So buckle down, run with what you got.
Mm-hmm.
If you got to take a shot, maybe it's Uncle Rico.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
Purdy.
I mean, he's got AJ Brown to throw to. He's got who's that other guy? The Heisman Trophy winner from a year ago. Yeah, Deontay Smith. Yeah, he's really good, and I think
Goddard's coming back.
Goddard's coming back. Yes, read my mind exactly. So he's got himself some weapons to throw to for sure. Much better weapons than Daniel Jones has got. The other guy I brought up. So I'd say either of those guys. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. Well, cool. Good stuff, man. Well,
all right.
Yeah. Good luck on the waiver wire.
Yes, sir.
So you get something good. I think I'm definitely putting one in for Juwan Johnson. I got a need for him. So
nice. Well, good luck.
All right, man. Well, good luck. Good luck this weekend. This is it. Get to the Super Bowl, man, and then it's all up there. It's all up for grabs.
Sir. Yeah, exactly. So it's just a matter of you're still alive in 2, I'm still alive in 1. So we put all of our chips in the table, and let's roll. We need to win these games and get to the Super Bowl. So you can get to Super Bowl, 2 Super Bowls. I get to 1. We'll both be happy.
Yep. Exactly.
Yep.
Cool. All right, brother. Well, have a good week, and then we'll be back at this next week.
You know it. All right. And don't forget, we got games all day Saturday and only 3 games on Sunday because of Christmas.
Yeah.
So that's how it's panning out.
That's right. Yeah.
So let's do some homework, and next week or maybe the week after, we can talk about players we drafted that, disappointed us. I think it's a little early to start, a tale of woe and grief. We're still alive in our fantasy playoffs, and we've got our eye on the prize right now, so we'll talk about disappointments at a later broadcast.
Sounds like a plan to me, brother.
Cool. All right, brother.
All right. Till next time.
Night. You know it.
You too.
Peace.